Hi everybody, this is November 24th, 2024, and I just got to McDonald's after Mass. It's Sunday, and I've been posting these videos as a form of therapy to recover from the trauma of watching my last surviving family member in Greater Vancouver, my little brother, Paul Kierans, 64, with Down syndrome, be locked up by this evil New Democratic Party, communist, socialist government, and then die. I believe that they did medical assistance in dying on him. I saw that they removed his ventilator, his catheter, his medical supports, and then sedated him to death. I've complained to the police, and I've just got back or got here from Mass, and I'm so traumatized by I've been in denial about, I would say, a devout Catholic. I go to Mass every Sunday. I pray every day. I have a rosary beside my bed. When I was a little girl, I was the subject of childhood sexual abuse by two relatives, much older relatives. And my way of coping is I would walk to Mass every day and go to Mass by myself, like a little girl, like a little 8-year-old girl going to Mass all by herself, you can imagine. Anyways, so I was in denial, but I had a criminal defense lawyer, a retired, very senior criminal defense lawyer, told me this week. He said, well, you know, Kathleen, the Catholic Church is paying for your sister to sue you. I spent 5 days last week. They had a court application to have me declared a vexatious litigant on top of watching my little brother be locked up for 588 days and then be killed by medical assistance in dying. I've had to accept the fact that the Catholic Church hired this sleazy shyster lawyer from Ottawa, and all he does, his whole practice, is to run around Canada defending pedophile priests and clergy, Catholic clergy, who've been criminally charged. And so they dragged me into court after I had to deal with the trauma of losing my little brother, having this evil nun from 4,000 kilometers away just make my life hell. She's a psychopath. So on top of, losing my little brother, I get dragged into court for 5 days. And up to now, the judges have always accepted. I had a heart attack in 2016. I have high blood pressure, and I have a life-threatening cardiac condition. I have a letter from my family, a medical certificate from my family doctor, and a letter from my cardiologist saying that I can't appear in court for longer than 2 hours a day. So on Monday, I went over 2 hours. I went till 12:36 because I was asking for an adjournment, and I asked the court to adjourn my sister's application to have me declared a vexatious litigant and lose my rights, the little bit of rights that I have as a Canadian citizen to defend myself. They want to take that away. And I applied to adjourn it, and I said to the judge, we should wait until we hear from the RCMP and from the College of Physicians and Surgeons. They're investigating this power of attorney the nun had over my little brother, and also they're investigating my brother's death. And they take a long time to do these things. And as far as I know, they haven't concluded their investigations. And the rule is in law is that generally you wait until the criminal matter has been concluded before you address things civilly. Like, with O.J. Simpson, there was the criminal matter, the criminal trial first, and then later there was a civil trial. And Ron Goldman's father won, I think, a $35 million judgment against O.J. Simpson, of which he never saw a dime. But that's the general rule, and it makes sense for a lot of reasons. But she dismissed my application. She said I had to file a formal application, which cost $80. And I did, all the things. I jumped through all the hoops, but she knew. She had made up her mind the night before. Like, every decision she made, I could see it was pre-written, because she'd go on with these long written oral reasons about why I couldn't have whatever it was I was asking for immediately after the application. Normally what they do is they just say yes or no, and then they say oral reasons to follow. But she was all ready. So, when I was sitting in Mass today, I was so conflicted because I just thought, what do you do when your church hires a lawyer to take away your civil rights and to pay for the legal expenses? I estimate at least $500,000. Then they fly out here at the drop of a hat. They never spent one dime on little Paul, not one penny. It's so evil. And I complained to the Catholic Church. I said, I believe that my sister did medical assistance in dying on my little brother, and he can't consent to that. He's too low functioning. And they said, blah, 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 well, he was going to die anyways, which I thought was kind of odd. But now what I realize is they were paying for her legal expenses all along. And so it's really struck me to the core, like I've been, I pay with my little old age security, I eke out $5 every week to put in the collection plate for my church. And they've spent $500,000 paying for the legal expenses of the nun that I believe killed my little brother, locked him up for 588 days and then killed him. So I don't know if any of my Facebook friends who watch this are Catholic, but it's... but I'll tell you, ultimately, this is what I feel about the Catholic Church as an organization, and they're not Jesus. Jesus went through some hell, and he died and rose again to save our souls, and the Catholic Church is not Jesus. So on one level, while I say that, I'm shaking my faith to the core, it's not really true. That's not really true. Jesus didn't do this. But they've got to figure out a way how not to spend Catholic, the money I'm paying this shyster criminal lawyer, pedophile defending lawyers fees with my donations to the Catholic Church. And how are they supposed to say that they are against abortion and their support right to life when they let this nun go running around the country making people's lives hell? They know she's a psychopath. Anyways, so those are my thoughts for today. I wrote some letters this afternoon. I made a complaint to the Auditor General of Canada about this. If you have any questions, just put them in the comments for this video. Take care, everybody. Paul, I miss you so much. Christmas is coming and I think about you every day. I'm fighting so hard to give you some justice. You never should have been locked up like that. And I know that you were struggling to recover from your stroke. And I'm sorry I couldn't help you. I don't know. I should have screamed. I should have thrown a chair across the room. I should have done something more than what I did. I should have risked going to prison. I'm sorry I couldn't save you. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful week.